Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel for this Thursday morning, afternoon or evening across the world where you may be at. And today I'm going to be doing a Reddit autism forum video, and this topic is a real interest to me. It's about how do I get better at public speaking and speaking to people in general as someone on the autism spectrum. Because I've been searching the autism Reddit forums in the last few weeks, and this topic really spoke out to me, and I thought it was important to discuss and bring to your guys' attention. And I also want to say thank you for the recent subscribers, supporters who have joined the family here on the channel, and I really do appreciate your support. So let's get into it. This was asked by a user by the name of Ash, and I will link the original link down below so you can see it for yourself. The person says that they have social anxiety and autism. They love to sing along to musicals and want to do Broadway one day, but they have low confidence and self-esteem. So the first thing that I would say in regards to that would be to look into a local theatre, because you've not mentioned where you're at, obviously for safety reasons. I would find out where your local theatre is, your local amateur dramatics, or your local theatre where they put on big productions like West End shows, Broadway shows, and approach them directly and ask if there is any form of training or autism friendly or disability friendly trainings that you could attend to build up your confidence. Also, they could offer a small group session, so you could ask whether they're willing to do smaller groups with training with regards to you attending that group, and then building your confidence up once you're ready to start adding more people and making it into a bigger session component. You've also said, I would like to prepare to start with maybe a group. I would prepare with a group to 4 to 5 people who you know well and who are trusted. So I would say again that is a very good plan, because if you prepare small and start small, then you'll be able to perform in front of them, and once you're able to perform in front of these people with all your costumes and everything else, then your confidence will slowly increase to them people. Then once you feel comfortable with them, you can then encourage more people who you know and who you trust in your local community and your family or your friends, your friendship circle of that stature. Also, you say in regards to performing in a theatre group, you would like small. You could ask for smaller audiences, so your theatre will do special adaptations or special reasonable adjustments for you if they know that you have a disability or multiple disabilities in your case. And in my case, as someone on the autism spectrum myself, I think that's a very crucial point, that if you are going to want to perform in the theatre scene or within the performing arts scene, you are going to have to get used to doing bigger crowds eventually. But you can ask them to do smaller adaptations, smaller audiences. I believe it here in the UK anyway, is that you can ask them to do matinees and smaller audiences where they can also dumb down the lights and everything else like that, and have things like sign language performances and that kind of stuff, and relaxed performances with people with autism, sensory issues, dementia, etc. Then you say about how you get nervous around big words and things. So again, that's a very good thing with me. I get very nervous with big words and lots of language and everything like that as well. So for you, it would be probably ideal to write a script or write some bullet points down, so when you go to perform in front of these small groups of people, or you go out and start talking to people in general, have a bullet point list of what topics you want to bring up, what words you want to tell them, and make it sweet to the point so it's not too long-winded. So again, that will lower your stress and anxiety with your confidence. Also, you could go into the theatre weeks beforehand and talk to the management there and tell them you're on the autism spectrum and that you also have anxiety issues and communication issues. They will be really supportive of you. My local theatre here in the UK is very aware of disability. They are very aware of things that you can and cannot do. They are very accessible with regards to helping you build up your confidence and self-esteem. They do have people trained in disability there to provide you with physical and mental support. Also, you say about having social anxiety. Social anxiety is a thing with people with the autism spectrum. We do tend to be socially anxious, a bit socially naive sometimes. I'm not saying that you are naive, but a lot of us with autism are socially anxious. We don't know when to communicate and when to communicate what to say or how to say it, because it comes across as being blunt, rude, direct, a bit out of order, but we're not potentially trying to be out of order or blunt. It's the way that we see things in the world and how we see things in our brain. So again, I wouldn't worry too much about that side of things as well. But social anxiety can really cause problems, because if you are someone on the autism spectrum who struggles with your wording and your language, you do tend to get frustrated and anxious, and that does lead to communication breakdown. I've had this on multiple occasions, so I totally understand where you're coming from. And I think that it's something that people need to start getting used to, because not all of us are fluent in our language or able to sit here and talk about our issues, or know how to talk about our issues, or we may feel more anxious talking to strangers rather than our friends, because with our friends we know them, we trust them, we know that they have our backs, we know that they understand, and so it's more likely we are trust our friends than total strangers, because total strangers don't really know who we are, how we interact, who we communicate, and how our autism does affect us. So that is another thing. Also, you say about having mental health issues. This, again, is a really recurrent thing with people on the autism spectrum, because we do tend to have a lot of mental health issues. I have anxiety disorder on top of my autism, so I completely understand where you're coming from with mental health issues. I think that's something that we do need to get adjusted to, and people should accept us for having mental health issues. Mental health is more well known and talked about now than it has been in decades. So I think we are getting better, but there's still a long way to go with regards to acceptance of it and less of the stigma. Also, I would research about disability-friendly organisations that can help you, support you. And also, if you don't feel confident going to them, you can email them or tweet them, or do something that's online that is easier for you to do communication with. In my experience to communication and being in public, I've had a lot of practice over the years of doing public speaking. I've done a lot of public talks around autism and disability. In my local area in the UK where I'm at, I've had a lot of chance to communicate and tell my story, and help to educate and change people's mindsets and open up discussion around autism, because it is still a hidden condition. Not many people really understand it, or they don't understand how I communicate, how I'm able to be so verbal and fluent and to make sense. But again, that's because I do have my script here, which I'm reading from to make it look more easier for myself. So again, that can be something that you should look into, doing some scripting, or, I said earlier, some bullet points. And for me, I've got used to doing a lot more public speaking because I've been able to go out in public. I've trained a lot of nurses in my time. I've trained a lot of healthcare professionals, a lot of police officers. It just depends on the situation where you're at, the environment where you're at, and the people who are willing to listen to you, because the more that you communicate and the more you don't let your autism get to you, the more you are likely to get communication fluently. And it does take time. I'm not saying it's going to be an overnight fix. No, it's not. It's going to be something that you're going to have to work at, that I have to work at. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed listening to my views. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.